Welcome to The Hype, where we give you an inside look at Texas Tech athletics. I'm Nicholas Talbot.
And I'm Krista Pirtle. 3 years ago, Hattie Schunk was a freshman on the Texas Tech soccer team. Plagued by injury, Hattie was told as a sophomore to hang up her cleats for good. But she still wanted to represent Texas Tech, so Hattie found another way. So first off, the question that you've been asked for forever.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Tech?
Well, Tech, the main reason I chose Tech was for sports. I actually was a soccer player originally, and I came here to play on the soccer team, but running was in my background, so I also wanted to run, and that came along at a later time. I had an injury and was able to switch over to running. So that was the main reason that brought me to Tech, but also the academics. When I came for my visit, it was a great fit school-wise, athletic-wise, and I love the atmosphere. The school spirit here, I think, is probably one of the biggest sellers when I came, just the feeling I got and the environment and how much everybody is into Tech. And from Lubbock, it's a very college town, and I loved that.
So then with soccer, when did you commit?
I was a junior in high school when I committed, so a little bit earlier. That was my plan coming in, is I was going to play Division I soccer, and just a series of events and an injury actually, the cards aligned, and I ended up walking onto the track team and the cross-country team, which is what I'm doing now, and I enjoyed a lot.
At what point did you realize that you wouldn't be able to play soccer anymore?
It was about halfway through my season, my sophomore year. I had a back injury my freshman year. It was a stress fracture, and it was just getting really hard to be on the field continuously, just with all as a contact sport, soccer is a little bit rough, and so I was in and out of the training room, and eventually the doctors were kind of like, you might want to rethink this, and just since running was in my background and I had that option, and I knew in the back of my head I kind of missed it, I went for it and talked to the coaches and made the switch.
So did you do then track and soccer in high school, or?
Yes, I did track and soccer. I mainly focused on soccer, and that's kind of was my passion growing up, but I always loved running, and I never really gave it a chance, and so having this kind of like second opportunity to give running a chance has been amazing, and it's definitely one of my passions.
And soccer and running seem to go hand in hand, so
Definitely.
you're pretty much in good shape to walk on then.
Yeah, definitely, and it was funny, our trainer, she's the one who does a lot of the running for the team. She was always like, I would never be surprised if you were a track athlete too, and so it was kind of funny how it worked out.
Do they ever track how far you'll actually run during a soccer game?
Yeah, there's actually been a lot of studies on that, and it's an average. I mean, it depends on position, but average is 5 to 6 miles a game, and so, that translates to cross-country running, so it actually was quite an easy switch.
So that's why I get tired watching soccer?
Yeah, that's why you get tired.
So then, was the trainer really who put the idea in your head that, hey, I could do track, or how did that?
She definitely did, and she, I would do very well on our fitness tests, especially running, and she's like, honestly, you have the fitness level of a track athlete, and when I was going through my injury, she kind of said, have you thought about looking at the track team or talking to them and possibly running? And that's when I was like, yeah, this is something I could do, and just since I had the background in high school, it was definitely something I thought about pursuing right away.
How was the transition like with Coach Stone helping you get in contact with who you needed to over here?
He was great, and Coach Stone, I owe him a lot for that. He was very supportive through my injury, and he wanted to make sure that the best happened for me, and so he knew about my running background as well, and he was actually the one who went and talked to Coach Kitley on the track team and made that contact for me and got us in touch, and it went all very smoothly, and so that was very helpful.
Was there any period of time between when you found out you couldn't play soccer and then track, or did it all kind of work in together?
There was a tiny period. It was at the end of the fall season, and so I knew maybe that spring I could jump onto the track team and try out that during their outdoor season. But there was kind of that in-between period that I was thinking more, should I stop and take half a semester off and just get my body right? But it all ended up flowing in, and based on my rehab and how I was progressing, it worked out really well to be able to take part in that spring season for track.
So then what was it like to be able to participate in your first meet?
That was a crazy experience, and it was kind of like all in one year. Here I am on the track now, representing my school still, but in a different sport, and it was a great feeling to be able to know I was still a part of Tech athletics and I was still doing what I loved, but it was very, I don't think I ever thought that would be the case.
Was it hard? I mean, I know you probably had some great relationships with the soccer girls, but then to build them, were you able to build them quickly over here?
Definitely, and I think it was a very different dynamic going to from a team-oriented sport to a little bit more of an individual-oriented sport, especially because the track team is so large. But the athletes at Tech were all pretty integrated, and so I knew a couple, and they were really great at getting me acclimated to the team and meeting new people. So at first it was very different, and I just, it's a different mentality track as opposed to soccer, but really the transition was great, and the team was very welcoming.
So then what does it mean to you to represent Tech athletics no matter what jersey you put on?
I'm so proud to represent a school because, you see the support through every sport, and it's really cool to see how easy of a transition I was able to make and how much support I got in doing it. And at the same time, just having the school back me up, the spirit is there, and I truly love being a part of Tech athletics.
Now, we've talked about it off camera, but your major, just what goes into that?
Yeah, I'm a chemical engineering major, and that's definitely been an added balance to my schedule, and it's a lot of time management, a lot of figuring out how to do homework on the road, how to get things done with little time, and that's been a huge adjustment, and it's been tough. I won't understate that, but through it I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about myself, a lot about what it takes to be a student athlete, and really what I come out with by going through this major I think is beneficial in itself and will help me a lot later on.
What's the hardest class you're taking right now?
The hardest class I'm taking right now probably are labs. So I'm in a unit operation lab, and it's very hands-on, so you learn a lot, but it's kind of you're thrown into things that you've never seen before, and you have to learn on the go. So you have to figure things out and do some research. It's just a lot of work, so that's the toughest one for sure.
What do you want to do with this major once you're done?
I actually would like to do research in the medical field, so I'm planning on getting a bioengineering minor, thinking about going to grad school in bioengineering. I'm very interested in medical devices and that sort of thing, so taking my degree and kind of extending it to a different area would be really cool, and my goal is to help somehow improve life or maybe medical devices, targeted therapies, cancer research. Those kind of things really interest me.
And just a couple months ago, you were named a Goldwater Scholarship
Yeah.
recipient. Just how did you find that out, and what does that really mean?
The Goldwater Scholarship, it's for students who actually want to pursue a research career in science, engineering, any of the STEM fields. And so that was right up my alley, and I said, hey, this is something I want to do. And so I actually applied my junior year, and I was honorable mention. And the school, some of my advisors, they really encouraged me to apply a second year. I applied my sophomore year and then applied again last year, my junior year, and that's when I won the scholarship. And so I had a lot of support from people at Tech telling me, you have a good chance in this, and the second year winning it was an awesome feeling to know that my hard work had paid off, because it's a lengthy application process, but it was also a great experience because it allowed me to explore what I really want to do, research the kind of research I want to do, and so I was really happy to get that scholarship.
All right, so you've got the scholarship, you make the track team, you get committed on the soccer team. Which Tech moment has been your favorite?
Whew, that's really hard. I think they've each been unique in themselves, and each one brings up a memory or a feeling that I'll cherish forever, so I really couldn't pick just one. I think each one will be something I carry with me throughout my life.
It's been just over a year since Luke Siegel was critically injured in a golf cart accident. Since then, the support from the Lubbock community and Texas Tech has been nothing short of amazing. Starting on Sunday and lasting through the night 18th, the USTA Pro Circuit comes into town featuring the future stars of women's professional tennis. All the proceeds from the event benefit the Team Luke Fund, which provides critical and financial support for Luke Siegel's treatment and long-term care needs.
Obviously, Coach Siegel, Tim Siegel, has been a huge part of Texas Tech athletics and in this community, and Luke was as big a part of this community as anybody as well. And so, after the accident, we thought we wanted to do something in honor of him and the family and help their cause. And our tournament director, Amy Etchison, has been a lifelong friend of Tim Siegel and is a real go-getter. And we've tried for years to get a professional women's event here. It just happened that it all happened at the same time, and we were able to do this for the community and for Coach Siegel and for Texas Tech. So we're so excited about the opportunity to do this, and the community's been so unbelievable with the support just surrounding this tournament. and coming out and backing it in the Siegel family. So we're so excited about the opportunity.
Well, I could go on and on about so many things that so many people and so many companies, so many businesses, so many people in this town have done for us. But this tournament really is icing on the cake. We're so appreciative of Covenant and every other sponsor that's involved with this tournament because it means so much to us, to our family. It's part of me. Texas Tech was part of me for 23 years, so being at this facility is very important. Todd Petty and Amy Etchison, who've worked so hard this tournament, have really meant so much to me over the years. But for me to be a part of this and my son, it means the world to us. 13 months now, and we're just hoping and praying that we get more progress, and having this tournament certainly helps us. Well, I think it's great. Years ago, when I was the men's coach, we had John Isner and Donald Young and some really big names that came here. We did a future in challengers, and I think it's fantastic for West Texas to see great tennis players, because what people didn't realize when we had our event, John Isner and Sam Querrey and some of those guys were up and coming, and here they are, top 25 in the world. Same thing could happen on the women's side. Some of these top players that were world champions and juniors could very easily be at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open in a couple of years.
For sure, we want to grow. We want to grow this event every year. This is a special situation. I think it's the only professional event that comes to Lubbock right now at this time. It's something, we have former Wimbledon quarterfinalists. We've had a Olympic silver medalist coming, and we want to continue to grow this and make this even bigger to even reach out further, to raise awareness for Luke and his name, and for everything that we can with golf carts and everything that goes involved. We want to continue to raise money and hopefully into a foundation that can help the whole community.
I've been in touch with pretty much every coach at Texas Tech. They are friends of mine. They're very good, almost brothers and sisters to me. I just saw Cliff a couple of days ago and just brought some Pray for Luke bracelets to the entire football team. All of the coaches have been tremendous, and so many of them have meant so much to me during this past 13 months, but also for this tournament, helping us out. So we really appreciate that. And my goal, I'm the biggest Texas Tech sports fan in the world, and I didn't get to go to one event last year because it was too hard for me. But I plan to take my son, my whole family, to as many as we can. And we went to the soccer last week. We'll be going on Friday, and hopefully we'll be going on Saturday as well. So Texas Tech, every bit of Texas Tech means so much to me, especially the coaches. September 15th, we were told that he would never open his eyes, use his limbs, or use his voice, and he's doing all three. He was anoxic, which is more difficult to overcome, but he is a fighter. He's a competitor, and I think his competitive nature has helped him get this far. And there's no doubt that as hard as he's working and as hard as we are working as a family, there's no question in my mind that he's going to continue to get better. And our goal now is for him to be able to communicate with us. But it's 13 months without being able to talk to Luke, or at least we're talking to him, but will he be able to communicate to us? But I'm consistently telling him what I think about the Rangers and the Saints and the Red Raiders. So he's hearing what he's always heard, that's for sure.
Texas Tech is 1-0 heading into the second week of the season, and I don't care what you say, the defense did look much improved. Yes, it was against Stephen F. Austin, but Texas Tech held the Jacks to fewer than 60 rush yards on the night. One of the anchors on the Red Raider defensive line is Breiden Fehoko, who now answers your questions.
What motivates you to get better every day in the classroom and on the football field? I think the biggest thing that motivates me every day in the classroom and on the football field is my family. Seeing the work my mom and dad do every day for me and my brothers motivate me every day to just have a better life, have a better future than what they gave me, and they tell me that every day is they want me to have a better future for myself. Is the defensive line, along with the linebackers, strong enough and aggressive enough to stop the run this year? I think without a doubt, the defensive line and the linebackers, along with the secondary, is without a doubt strong. A lot of great guys to play around. I'm just happy to surround myself with the guys I am with now. Guys have bought into the scheme. Guys are playing their assignment every play, and it just makes it a lot easier to play. What was the key in drawing you to Texas Tech versus other major schools that recruited you? I think the biggest key that drawing me to Texas Tech over other schools was, just the love they have for players here. Coach Kingsbury just does a phenomenal job with recruiting. When people say, he's a player's coach, he really is a player's coach. He relates to you on a student-athlete level. He knows that, we have classes 12 hours a week, some guys 16 hours a week, and he knows how much, it takes on our toll, takes a toll on our bodies. And, sometimes he really looks out for the players. And just the support staff, along with Coach Kingsbury, the academic staff, the training staff, the strength staff, everybody here just really made it easy for me to come to Texas Tech over other schools. How do you maintain your strength without proper access to Kahlua pork, manapua, lau lau, chicken katsu, or spam musubi? I think the biggest thing in maintaining strength is probably Kegel Steakhouse. I love their steak. It gets me through every time I need a big meal, every time I need to bulk up, get some good protein in me. Good 16-ounce ribeye get me through the night. So I think probably that's the biggest thing right now. How will the addition of Pipkin and Hill help in your role in the D-line? With the addition of Andre Pipkins and Colin Hill, it makes my job a lot easier. Makes everybody's job a lot easier along the D-line to have two solid guys like that. Just playing their job every play, being violent and aggressive at the point of attack. Really enjoy playing next to these guys. Looking forward to the season. Looking forward to what we do and how we develop as a team.
That'll do it for another episode of The Hype. Make sure and follow our social media accounts to keep up with everything going on with the Red Raiders, as really everything is going on. Football, soccer, track, everything.
Just about everything. But make sure you check out Lubbock Online and RedRaiders.com for all our coverage of Texas Tech athletics. I'm Nick Talbot, and that's Krista as usual. And we'll see you back here next week on The Hype.